Hi, thanks so much for tuning in to Mom Boss Chronicles. My name is Jen.
This is Sue.
And this is Danielle.
We are three moms that work together in real estate and are good friends, and here to talk to you about fun topics, the good, the bad, the ugly of mom struggles, real estate, and other fun stuff. So make sure to subscribe to listen to more. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mom Boss Chronicles. Today, we have a really special guest. We have Carla Bushey. She is the owner of Oak Hill Farms in Monmouth County. She also has a really amazing Instagram page that has a lot of great food and boards on there. So you definitely have to follow her. It's at Carla Bushey?
Yes, it's Carla.Bushey.
Yeah, awesome Instagram. Thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I have been following you for a while, and God, there's so much good content on there.
Yes,
I think to myself, where do you come up with all this cool stuff? You're so creative.
I always say I don't sleep enough.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the main reason.
Were you always naturally creative?
Yes, always.
That's
Since I
awesome.
was little, I was always crafting and playing a lot. And I was the only child for 7 years before my brother came in. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
Like you're
You keep yourself
self-taught.
busy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I always have to find a fun way to entertain myself.
Yes.
And I was the first grandchild on both sides. So it was just me for a while.
And a lot of adults, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's for sure.
So growing up, did you have a vision of wanting to get into like the food industry or owning a farm or anything like that?
No, growing up, since I was little, I always wanted to be an attorney like my dad.
Oh,
And I actually, really? Yes. And I actually started going to school. I prepared and I started going to school for that.
Wow.
And I realized it was not for me. I don't know if it was really my dream or my dad was such a big influence in my life. And I always felt so proud of him and working. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. So I had my mom all the time.
Yeah.
But I knew my dad was just like this big guy with a big job, and he always worked for himself. And I always said, I want to do that. I want to be like him when
A boss.
I grow up.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to be a boss. Plus, my dad is bossy, and I am too.
That's awesome.
So that's what got me started with thinking I wanted to be an attorney. And when time got there and I needed to read a lot and study a lot.
So did you start law school?
Not law school, but I started preparing like the
pre-law.
main 2 years.
Yes. And then is that when it hit you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It hit me because I almost got hit by my parents. No, that's a joke, but like I was skipping class.
Yeah.
It was boring.
Yeah.
It was not
for
your
me.
passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being in a classroom, like just reading and listening to like teachers talk and talk. I was falling
Especially when
asleep.
you're so creative.
Absolutely.
Like there was no outlet for you.
Yes. So when that happened, my dad gave me the biggest advice, and he said to me, you don't have to do anything to please anybody else. You just have to do what you love and do it. Yes.
I love that. Good.
And, I support you regardless what you are, what you choose to do. I support you 1,000%. So just figure it out.
Yeah.
Find the time. Yes. And just do it and go for it. And
That was great advice.
yes. And not even like a week passed by and I said, I want to be a chef. And he's
Yeah.
like, all right.
Wow.
there you go. That's amazing. You're so lucky, though, that you had the self-realization, but also your dad kind of helped you, realign yourself. Because imagine if you went down the road, you became a lawyer, you
Forced
spent all
yourself.
this money,
Yeah.
You forced yourself, and then you're unhappy, right? Because I know a lot of people that would
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of parents would force that too. Like, oh, don't give up. Keep doing it. Stay with this path. Like, you could do what I'm doing.
And now that I have children, I have one in college, one is a senior in high school, and one is still little. She's 7. But I see it, and I think all those lessons that my parents have given me and the support, I always try to implement that with my own children because it made such an impact in my life that I wanted to impact my children's life in a positive way.
Yeah.
Right? My daughter, actually, my oldest, she just transferred colleges. And a lot of people will be like, oh my gosh, like what's happening?
Yeah.
But I have that in the back all
Yes.
the time. So I was like, okay, well, let's figure it out. Let's sit down.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. And let's see what's the best route for you. And she's like loving it.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
And it's so good for her to have a supportive mom, right? Like, not that like you're going to judge me or want me to stay in this track. That's awesome that you're supportive of her decisions.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like it's so important
Great.
for parents to do that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
especially at that age, right? Like, I mean, when it's such an impressionable time as a teenager, and you're still trying to figure it all out,
Life,
right?
yeah.
And, making friends, and is this right environment?
It is
right?
so hard these days. I honestly feel so bad for children, for young adults, because they are being forced to make decisions at such an early age.
Right.
And I remember what happened to me, and I'm like, I was not ready to make
commit.
such a hard
Yes.
a commitment
Right.
like that. So I totally get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So did you end up going to school to be a chef?
Yes,
That's
so
awesome.
I ended up
So you're a
going to
trained
school
chef.
to be a chef,
Yeah.
and then I went back to do pastry in the city,
Wow.
and that's how I got it.
That's
And did you love that? Was that the creative
Loved
outlet
it.
you needed?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes life takes you in different paths for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I don't have a restaurant today, or, I don't work in my field per se, I think I was preparing myself. And I do share recipes on Instagram. Every single
Good,
day.
great ones. Yeah.
Yes. And I did publish a cookbook.
Yeah.
So still is part of my field.
Right.
But it is not like I work in the field, but the creativity of that field, it helps me to do what I do today.
You did it in your way.
right, exactly. Like
Yes.
your terms. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
The Frank Sinatra song. I did it my way.
Right. So I'm sure your children have benefited greatly from your creative, output and, food, obviously. Do your kids also kind of in their own time, do creative things like that with food, or just kind of coming up with fun crafts and stuff?
So my children are pretty creative too. My little one is an amazing drawer. Like
Yeah.
she draws and paints and loves that and super crafty.
Artistic.
Yes.
Yeah.
My oldest one, she is my baker. She loves to bake. And she does the same thing I do when she's like stressed out and you hear pins at midnight, she's baking.
Okay. All right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's a way to release
That
her stress.
de-stresses. I love that.
And my middle one, she's an amazing cook. I said, this kid is always going to survive. She's never going to be hungry. She cooks everything. And you find her in the kitchen every single day making her own food
That's awesome.
and prepping her meals.
She
and
whips it
everything.
up. Yeah.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yes.
You must
But
be
I told them since they were little and they were in that environment. So I think they learn.
Yeah.
They learn the good, the bad, everything. So we
Right.
have to be so careful with the things we do.
Right. And how long
Definitely.
have you guys had the farm?
So we opened the farm in August of 2020.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yes, in the middle of COVID.
Wow.
Crazy
Wow.
year.
Yeah.
So obviously the plan was you had planned to open the farm. Was it years prior in the making that you wanted to do this?
So what happened is, let's backtrack a little so you guys understand
Yeah.
the story a little better. But so about now, how many years ago? 15 going into 16 years ago, my husband and I, we were getting ready for a New Year celebration. It was actually December 31st.
Yeah.
And I was getting the house ready and we were gonna celebrate. And he calls me coming back from work and he actually tells me that he thinks he's having a heart attack.
Oh no, on New Year's Eve.
Yes, on New Year's Eve. And it was
Scary.
super scary. And he ended up in the hospital. So he was
Wow.
rushing to the hospital. And he got a heart procedure.
Wow.
And then he's okay now and he's good and everything is fine. Thank
that's
goodness.
scary.
But that changed our life. That was
Absolutely.
the wake up call.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
So many people always see it as, oh my gosh, what a way to start the year. And I always see it as, this was the best thing that happened to us in the year. He's alive.
Yeah.
God, yes.
We got a wake up call and we can change our lives for better. We
Yeah.
were living very stressful lives, commuting, and he was going, we were both commuting
Just work. Yeah.
to work. Yes, like
long days.
Long days.
Yeah.
So I was in my field. So I was working in the culinary industry.
Long hours.
Long hours.
Yep.
And he was, he's a builder. So
Wow.
he was in that.
Yep.
Yes.
Stressful environment.
Super.
Yeah.
And that was the wake-up call. So we said, okay, we have to make a change for better. We have to live more intentionally.
Because were your kids little at this point?
Yeah, so our kids were like 16 years ago. My oldest one is 21. So
Wow.
yes. So then we were living in East Brunswick at the time. We moved back to where he's from, which is Middletown.
Okay.
So we bought a home with land. We had 2 acres, and we started farming.
I love that.
And we started like
Enjoying the little
enjoying
things.
the little things in life. And like I said, living more intentionally, back to basics.
Oh, did you quit the job?
Not right away.
Okay.
But so we were, I did a shift in my job. So I got a different kind of job. I was into sales. So
That's awesome.
it was more, some days I worked from home, some days I went on the road.
That's good.
It was different.
Right.
And my husband also switched jobs, and it was much better.
Good.
Closer commute and everything.
Yeah.
So it was just good way to change our lives and spending a lot more time with our children. In a second, it doesn't matter how much money you have, but we realized that that was the moment when we prefer more than monetary things. We prefer experiences.
Yes.
Oh.
Because the moment you go, at least you live,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? And that's what we wanted. So when we started farming and getting fresh eggs, and he got into beekeeping as a hobby.
Wow.
We started getting things from the land.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we said, what are we doing with
Yeah.
this?
That's great.
Were you loving it?
We were loving it.
Yeah.
We said, we can be homesteaders. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
My husband was ready to go to Alaska and just become a homesteader.
I love that.
Well, I'm not that ready yet, but we enjoyed it a lot. So we started making products with the things that we were getting, like from the bees, the
cool.
honey, the beeswax.
What were you making?
We were selling the honey.
That's awesome.
First, we shared it with friends and family. They
Yeah.
thought it was amazing and we should do something bigger.
Yeah.
So we started selling the honey with the beeswax. I made the lip balms. I made my number 1 selling product that is called Muscle Balm, which is like an icy hot Bengay type of thing, but it's completely organic.
Oh my gosh, I need that.
I definitely need
I
that.
get sore muscles all the
Amazing.
time.
Sells out every single
All right, that's it. I'm
restock.
coming to the-
And I think it was sold out over the weekend at the farm, so we
Wow.
just restocked it. But it is so amazing. And then we make everything organic, natural, and we started increasing the line of products that we sell. So,
So slowly was word getting out?
yes.
Yeah.
And then we went to markets. So we set up our tables at farm markets,
Wow.
and we sold the product. We started getting to know a lot of people in Monmouth County. I opened social media. At that point, I was on maternity leave with my little one.
Aw.
And
Wow.
I have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I don't sleep enough.
can't
And
Always going.
always going.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I have to do something else because I am going out and shopping a lot. And my husband is
Right.
Yeah.
so I started producing something to make money
I
instead
love
of
that.
like spending the
Yeah.
money. And then I started making products, and I opened an Etsy shop first. I opened Instagram, just like a sharing home decor and sharing a little bit of our life too. And it just took off.
Yeah.
Like naturally.
Organically, 100%.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And
I
that's what I
have
love
never
about
in my
you.
life
Yeah.
paid for anything.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
on social media.
Yeah.
Like it was just
You
truly
probably, like,
your
just-
passion.
Yeah, you couldn't, and you probably never even imagined what
No.
it would transpire into, right?
How it would grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I never thought. Like, I always knew that I wanted to do something of my own. I always knew I wanted to be my own boss, but I didn't know how to get there.
Right.
Yeah.
I always thought, oh, maybe I have to own my own restaurant.
Yes. I know what you mean. Traditional, like
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Yes. So when that started taking off, I told my husband, I am not here for a popularity contest. We have to do something with this.
Yeah.
You know, we have to, people are liking it, and we have to make it into a business. If we want it and we really enjoy it, there has to be so many other people that are craving the same thing.
Yes.
And in this area, there's a lot of people who commute to the city
Yeah.
and they work in the financial district, and it's kind of like the same vibe. So we look in Monmouth County, which is very odd to have like a farm. It's right by the beach.
Yeah,
but
I know.
Right.
But perfect. 'cause-
Yes, the perfect location.
Yes.
So when we opened, we bought the land in 2019 in June.
Was
My
there a
hu-
barn there or
It was nothing there.
Just land.
My husband developed the whole thing.
So you had the vision.
Yes.
I love
and
that.
I had the builder.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
yes.
That's
The
definitely,
vision and I
that's
had the
definitely
builder.
helpful, for sure.
And you were both on the same
great.
page. Like he
Yes.
saw it with you.
He's so supportive.
Yeah.
So if I say I want to do something, he's like, okay.
That's a
let's do
great
it.
husband. That's
Yes,
awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
Because he puts up with so much of my stuff. So he's doing my grocery shopping right now so I can film some recipes.
You're a good
But-
team.
Yeah, definitely. And he developed the land and built the barn, and we had the project. And even like that, sometimes I don't have the vision for what he does, and I respect that so much. And sometimes he thinks I might have a crazy idea, but we trust the process
I love that. And each other.
and each other.
Yes.
And it works out. I told him, this barn is going to be the size of our bathroom. He's like, "Car, you see it small, but it's going to be big. I promise you.
I love your barn. So I've been there. If you guys
so
are
cute.
in New Jersey, you have to visit Oak Hill. Like, it's amazing. And I think I've even asked you when I walked in there, it's decorated so beautifully. Did you have a designer? You were the designer, right?
Yes.
Because the design in there is just so aesthetically
Yeah.
pleasing.
Thank you.
The way
is.
you have it
It's so
set up.
cute.
Yeah. Like, it's my go-to if I need a gift for somebody. I'm not sure what to get them. Like, so many cute and thoughtful things. And
Yes.
like, just, you did it incredible. It's magic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It means a lot because we put so much love and work into what we do. And it means so much. Like those compliments really is like, okay, mission accomplished. type
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
Like to
Yeah.
meet the expectations that people have. That's probably the hardest part of my job.
Right.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
on every level, like not only on social media, the people want to see what's the next best recipe.
Right.
Yes.
But they also also at the farm is like, how is she gonna decorate for this season?
Yeah.
What events are they going
Yes.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a lot.
You deliver.
the
For
hardest part.
sure.
Yeah.
I deliver like on non-sleep, but I deliver.
Do you I mean, I know on social media there's always like an opportunity for haters, to comment on things, which is just so silly. Like keep it moving if you don't. But have you experienced like negativity, and how do you kind of like navigate that,
Yes. So I think few things on that. The more you grow, the more you get that.
So it's inevitable, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
People just come for the good, but people also come
Jealousy.
for the ugly.
Yeah.
Right? I do have to say I am pretty blessed that my following is very loyal and that they're just so encouraging and so sweet and kind. The majority, I want to say 95%.
That's
You
great.
always have something. If it goes viral, you have a higher chances
Right.
that it's going to go with bad comments.
Yes.
But I never let it affect me.
Good.
I just let it go. Sometimes certain comments can get to you for certain reasons. I'll explain, for example, what could get me. 2 years ago, I ended up sick in the hospital. I didn't know what it was, but it looked like a stroke. So when they released me with a TIA. And then I went through 6 months of going to cardiologists, neurologists, endocrinologists, every single doctor.
Wow.
I went to Peru, that's where I'm from, and I actually got a full plan of blood work and everything else. And they finally diagnosed me, and I had an autoimmune disease.
Wow.
So that's what it was. So you find peace with your heart,
Yeah.
but you're going through struggles behind the scenes. So I was losing weight. Naturally, I was losing muscle mass. And it's not like, I mean, I do run every single day, but it's not like I was on a crazy diet.
Yeah.
It was something that I couldn't control.
Yeah.
And when I did a recipe one time, I remember someone commented something like, it looks like she can eat 3 cheeseburgers. So that hit me.
Hard.
And,
yeah.
and for like somebody else could have said, my husband said like, probably that's a great compliment.
Right.
They're calling you like, you look great or you're skin, but you never know what people are going behind.
their
Yes.
intentions. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that hit me, and I didn't comment it back, but I just like went and I put it on a story or something, and people of course go and they start fighting with the person who left the message.
Yes.
Because this like
Your
a
army-
tribe,
your
right?
army
My
went out
army.
for you.
I had
Yeah,
an army
so-
behind,
right.
yeah. But then I realized like, why am I even doing that?
Yeah.
Why am I bringing
Yes.
ugly
Attention.
to other people
Yeah.
and attention?
Right.
So I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
So I'm human. I also
course.
make mistakes.
100%.
You
hurt.
know?
Yeah.
But my husband says, just let it go, Carl. Like,
I know.
silly. You're like wasting your time.
Yeah.
So
I get it. It's hard. I mean, it's
That's hard, yeah.
Right? Like how do you not defend yourself in some capacity? But your husband's right, and that's something I think anybody would need to like take a breath.
Don't give it
Yeah,
attention.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't
Yeah.
give it
Yeah.
more.
besides
energy.
that, I have to say everybody's super kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I feel like
I saw,
the trolls,
I
the
was going to
negative
say, I
people
saw Sorry, it's like cuts out. I was gonna say I just saw the other day that you have a whole skincare line.
We do, yes.
I'm excited to try it. It was sold out, so I'm keeping it like the tab open so I could keep an eye on when it comes back in stock. I want to try it.
It is amazing and it's organic. All the ingredients are clean. I always tell people if you really want to make a change to your skin, just put clean products.
Yep.
Not something that says it's natural, or just put clean products that you can read.
I know, and pronounce it.
Yes, and pronounce it. And so many people are very pleased by our skincare.
That's
and
awesome.
They
You have
come
beautiful
back for
skin.
more. Thank you.
Is that
I
your-
do have wrinkles, but my husband says there's nothing you can do about that. You're aging.
We're growing up.
Yes,
We're growing up. It's okay.
Exactly.
We're moms. We all have,
Right.
like,
Exactly.
gosh, yeah.
It is what it is.
But your skin is like glowing and beautiful.
Thank you.
So, is that something you love, the skincare products?
Yes,
That's cool.
that's the only thing I use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Great.
keep an eye
I'm
on
excited
that
to
too.
try
When it
that.
comes-
Yes,
back
thank
in
you.
stock. How did you and your husband meet?
Match.com.
Get out!
Oh my God, I love
Yes.
that.
It is great. My husband is my second marriage, and it was so funny. I wasn't looking. I got out of a divorce. I wanted nothing to do with men. Like, it was just like my time that I needed to be by myself.
Yeah.
I focused on my children. My mom came to help me. My mom is always there to help
Aw.
me. And she was with me. So my mom was acting as a mom while I was working a full-time job
Wow.
and kind of like two side jobs to be
Yeah.
able to continue to provide for my children.
Yeah.
So one of my friends says to me, Carl, you are way too young not to even think about love. This is like probably 6 months after. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, I am so busy with the kids
Yeah.
and working.
Yeah.
But we had a routine. My mom and I and the kids will always go out on Saturdays and go have breakfast at this certain place and then head out to stores or like just like the park, whatever. My mom decides that at the time that we're supposed to leave, she wanted to dye her hair. So I'm like, Mom, like, we're supposed to go. And I have like hour and a half to kill. So I said, you know what? Why not? I signed up, put the still flip phones, right? Or
Yeah.
BlackBerry, whatever.
Yeah.
And I put whatever picture I found of myself. But the profile was very like real, very authentic. It's
that's
like,
awesome.
I don't have time to waste.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is what I have. I
have
have 2
kids.
children.
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody's going to like that. My husband was the first person
Wow.
within 30 seconds. I was like, this is so creepy.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
he came on and we chatted for half an hour. And my mom was like, okay, I'm ready. Like,
Oh my
wait, can you just go dry your hair? So we started chatting and we chatted for like a solid month before we met
How
in
amazing.
person. He will like call me every morning when I was heading to
Oh.
work and at night when I was coming back from work. And then we just hit it off.
That's
and
awesome.
we met. I was late and he waited and we had a great meal and the rest is history.
I love that.
Yeah.
The universe, you know,
so
it
cute.
really conspires for us.
Thank
So
God.
my first 30 seconds and his last 30 because his profile was about to expire.
Oh,
Oh
Get
my
out.
gosh. So thank God your mom
I
dyed
mean,
her hair.
truly.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. So thank God to my mom, right?
Yeah, that was perfect timing.
Yes.
That's so
perfect.
funny.
Wow.
That.
Yes.
And then you guys have built this beautiful life together that is fulfilling and inspiring. And then, you know, you're inspiring others too, you know, and doing something so good for the community. And it's just incredible.
And you're following your dreams. Like every day, do you
Absolutely.
feel like you're living the life you wanted to live?
Somebody asked me that on social media the other day because we had this Valentine's market on Sunday and it was very successful. And people, since we opened Thursday, they were ready to come back to the farm and loyal customers that we have and new customers too. But somebody sent me a message, a follower that has been with me for a very long time since my old house, since I started. She said, did you think that this was going to be your life 10 years ago? And I saw the message, I got goosebumps and I started crying. And I think I'm gonna cry again. But like it just hits hard because I didn't think this was going to happen. I work very hard. People who know me, they know that I work a lot. My husband does too. Our children have amazing work ethics.
Yeah.
But did I think this was gonna happen? No. Do I know that I work a lot for it? Yes. But I think when you show exactly who you are and you work for it. And sometimes it's sacrifices that you have to make, but you really work for it and you stay true to yourself. And my husband and I will always say, and we put God first, I think
That's awesome.
just magic happens.
I think when you work in something you love, it all just works out.
You're authentic.
You could tell that you love
Yeah.
what you're doing because you're putting out amazing products.
Thank you.
Like, so it just works for you. Like, that's awesome.
That's what my dad says. Like, when you do what you love, you want to do it for the rest of your
Yes.
life.
Yeah.
He could have retired years ago, but he doesn't.
Oh, he truly loves
He
it.
still works.
He's still practicing
yes,
law.
yes. He's
Because he loves it.
so
That's
my dad is going to be 73 next
bless
month,
him.
74 next month, and he still practices. He's very strong, and he says, "I will work until the day I die."
Wow.
That's amazing.
And he's amazing.
Well, I
And
see
he's
the
like
work ethic has definitely, it's in the DNA. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, and my brother is in finance. He's in a hedge fund, but
Wow.
he loves what he does
Yep.
every
Yeah.
single day.
That's
So
awesome.
that was the best advice, and
Right.
this is what we do. We do what we love every single day, so it's just so fun.
Yeah.
I'm a zodiac nerd, right? You're a hard worker and you're creative. What is your sign?
I am a Capricorn.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
I love that. And
So you
earth-
just had a
that,
birthday.
That makes sense. You're earthy. You
Yes.
know, you're like getting into the land. Okay. Well, happy belated birthday.
Thank
Yes.
you. Somebody told me that the other day, and they said, like, "Are you a Capricorn?" And I said, "Yes," and like makes total sense.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah, definitely. You're connected. Like the earth signs, you know? Yeah.
So
That's
is your
incredible.
everyday routine pretty hectic? Like from the moment you wake up?
It is. So I wake up at 5:00.
Wow.
I work out. I have time for emails, coffee, first coffee of the day. I have like few cups a day.
Me too.
Right? And then I go on with my day, whatever it is on my day. Some days I'm filming content. Some days I'm just at the farm preparing, like producing the products. I don't produce it anymore, meaning like we produce it in-house, but I don't actually make it myself. We have people who help us
Like
to
a
do
team.
that
Yeah.
team. We have the team at the farm, and we have one at home doing the home production of products. But yes, it's definitely busy. And now as you grow, there's more things going on, like events, collaborations,
Yeah.
and you have to attend. It's so fun. That part is so fun,
Right. Yeah.
but it takes a lot.
Yeah.
I know.
It takes a lot of time. So, yeah, definitely busy.
Were there like any I don't know, were you scared or any challenges, I guess, like scaling the business, right? Like hiring teams to help you. I mean, I'm sure you're an A-type, right? So like you like to have, I'm sure, control over a process or a situation, or just know that it's happening correctly. So is there like any, difficulties in kind of relinquishing that to others?
I do. That's a conversation that I have with my husband all the time. He says, and I know, I'm very controlling. Exactly. I'm an A-type.
You just want, you want things a certain way.
For me to let go is very difficult.
Yeah.
But I do have to say I have learned how to balance that a lot more, like through the years. I have an amazing team that I can trust.
That's awesome.
And I feel so blessed by it because I think that's major.
Yeah.
But it goes both ways, right? They are so amazing to me, not only on a professional level, but a personal level. They truly care about me. Did you eat enough? Did you sleep enough?
Yeah.
You don't look okay.
Yeah.
Like
They're in tune
you
with
don't
you.
need to come today.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
They're amazing. But also, I love them so much, and I think they see that.
Yeah.
I appreciate them. I make sure they know that. The kind words sometimes people notice it.
Yeah.
It is so important
That's
that you treat
awesome.
people with respect
Right.
and love. If that's what you want back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So-
Absolutely. It comes back.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you were saying before, too, how you opened during COVID. So I'm sure that had its set of challenges, right?
The most challenging part was trying to get all the permits with the township.
Oh, yeah.
It was a
all
crazy
of
time.
that, right?
Yeah.
Because they took a long time even before they started Zooming.
Yeah.
Right? So, like for all those meetings that you have to go through, the barn was built. We bought the property in June. My husband finished building the barn, I think, September 19.
So
it
fast.
was
Yeah.
done. But
Wow.
all the permits took a while.
To catch up.
And, yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to go back and forth.
Yeah.
And another thing that it was really difficult was sourcing materials.
Oh,
Yeah.
more
can
because we
imagine.
make everything from scratch ourselves. So everything was on back order.
Yeah.
All our special oils or
Right.
things like that we use. Jars.
Yeah.
We
The
couldn't
little
find
things,
jars.
right? Yeah.
It was crazy.
Crazy.
Honey, we had all this honey to pull out of like
nowhere to put
hives
it.
and nowhere to put it.
Right.
Wow.
So that was the difficult part of COVID. But I think my business grew 330% during COVID.
Wow. That's
Yes.
awesome.
So like it was the best thing that happened to us.
yeah, I think people were home and craving that like
Oh.
home environment. So like the barn
And,
was
and
like,
natural products,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, online, all the shoppers, they wanted to do something.
Yeah.
They couldn't go out.
Yeah.
They were online shopping. I think for every business, COVID was a
Right.
great thing. If you had a strong like business online,
Yeah.
and we were already established online, and that's what got us to the farm. So, and with the farm, it was such an open space. Like the barn is 2,800 square feet barn. The ceilings are like, I think 22 feet. I don't know. My husband always tells me. I forget. But it was open.
Yep.
So people had that sense of safety.
Right.
They could be 6 feet apart. It's
Yeah.
crazy to even say that word
know,
again, right?
I know.
And we had all the back with the animals
picnic
that
tables,
brought so
right?
much happiness
Yes,
to people.
the animals are really cute. You have,
Yes.
what do you have there?
We have chickens, we have rabbits, ducks, peacocks,
I love it.
goats, alpacas, and mini donkeys.
So cute.
Oh,
My
I
kids
love
love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
so
it hard to
cute.
get animals?
So
That's a good question.
my husband is a pro for that.
Okay.
He has all his breeders for every kind of animal we have. We go back to those breeders. They're amazing. He does all the research. And we always say like we're like YouTube farmers because everything we know we taught ourselves
Right.
by like Googling and doing YouTube
Thank God
videos,
for the internet. Yeah.
right? Like technology is a beautiful thing if you
Yes.
know how to use it in
Yes.
a positive way.
Yeah.
So yes, that's how we learn, and he learned even more like with beekeeping. That's how he started. But then when it became not a hobby but a job, then he took classes and
That's
you know,
awesome. And really
to
invest-
to
yeah.
get like a title and
Right.
things like that. So yeah, and
There's a
invested his
lot.
time. It is a lot.
the animals, the bees, like there's a lot behind the scenes
It's
that
a
you
lot.
guys have to take care of and think about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have a big team now.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary. I mean, just speaking to your growth in a tough year, you know, I hope a business school comes and does a case study on that because it's incredible. It really is. You know, that was a year where a lot of people had to unfortunately shut down businesses, you know, and you found growth. So
Yes.
that's incredible. And
Yes.
obviously you're continuing to scale the business even bigger.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was. I feel pretty blessed for sure. I do have to say, during COVID, I was so excited to see so many businesses or people who didn't have anything opening
Yeah.
businesses during COVID
Yep.
and finding what they truly love
Yep.
Yes.
and going after their passions.
Yeah.
I think that's what I could highlight. You know, people stopped doing things that they were not meaningful to them.
Yeah.
And they got gutsy.
I'm one of those people.
You
I
see?
mean, unfortunately, my husband actually passed away at the beginning of COVID, so that was a part of it. But I worked in the city. I was in corporate for 15 years, and I'm like, I don't want to go back, you know. And I
The dread
started
of,
selling
like,
real estate
yeah.
with Danielle and with Jen. So you know, it was like, yes, I don't know about my own business, but I changed careers and I started doing something for me that I was passionate about, and
Yeah.
loving it, and like it.
You listened to your
there was
intuition.
the beauty that there were beautiful things that came out of that year, you know, too.
Yes. And
Yeah.
you love it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my
You
gosh,
see?
I'm so happy.
You see?
Yeah.
It's just like you follow your passions, like
Yeah.
things that were meaningful to your life.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important to like live to the fullest.
Totally.
Yeah.
To stop,
Right.
take a minute, self-evaluate,
Right.
Yes.
and make those changes.
Sometimes it takes a scary situation, you
Right.
know, an unfortunate situation to kind of open our eyes to that, you know, like you were saying with your husband, like
Absolutely.
right, you know, and
Yeah.
yeah,
But thank God you guys came out of that beautifully and you know, made it all work out.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
That's
that's
awesome.
great.
What an incredible story.
Thank you. Yes, it is definitely it's definitely a story to tell.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe you know, memoirs.
Yeah, right.
Hill Farms.
How long? So you grew up in Peru, and how long have you lived, like, I guess, in the United States?
So I came here, let's see, I've been living here longer than Peru. I'm 42, so I've been here for 24 years.
Wow. And do you miss Peru?
I go often.
That's awesome. With
I
the
go
kids?
With the kids sometimes.
Yeah.
Now the schedules are difficult with all my kids being in separate places, but I go once or twice a year.
That's awesome.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
love it there. I love the food there.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, it's so good. Usually I go during this time of the year, but my mom just left. She just went back to Peru to live there. So she just
live?
left to live.
Wow.
So
Was she
moved
here?
back.
Yeah.
She
Were you
was here
missing her?
living with us the
Oh.
entire time. So now I'm like, Mom, who's watching my kids when I'm going? So it's going to take probably a few months, but then we're definitely going back.
That's awesome.
I'd love to visit Peru.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to get there.
Different climate, I'm sure. Is it?
It is like right now we're opposite seasons.
Oh, okay.
So right now it's
Summer.
summer, but our summer is nice and toasty, but never humid.
That's awesome. Not like
It's a
here.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, if anybody is ever in Monmouth County, you have to visit Carla's farm,
Right.
Oak Hill. Is it okay to give the address of where it's at?
Yes, of course. It is 177 Stillwell Road, Homedale, New Jersey.
Yeah. And are you guys open? What days are you open?
We open Tuesday to Saturday, 10 to 5, and Sundays, 10 to 4.
That's awesome. And then you guys do different events throughout the year?
Yeah, so you check the website, it's oakhillfarmsnj.com,
Okay.
and you can see all the products that we sell, and we ship everywhere in the United States,
Oh, that's awesome.
Puerto Rico, and Canada.
That's
and
awesome.
You can also see all the events that we have. We have a calendar of events, everything planned. We're putting all our workshops for spring. We even have farm camp for summer for the kids.
that's so cool.
That's
Yes.
good to know.
It was, we started that last year. and
Was it cool?
Yes, it was a great camp.
What ages?
Last year we did 4 to 7. I think this year we're doing 2 different sessions
That's
with kids
awesome.
because we had so many people like wanting to do
I got to
it.
check that out. That
Yeah.
sounds
Yes,
so cool.
They go with the animals. They learn about how to get eggs out of the chickens.
Oh my God. I want to
Michael
go.
would love
Yes,
that.
flowers, bees. They
I
learn
want
everything.
chickens.
I know.
I really do. I'm
They're
gonna
precious.
make it happen. I may have to
Fresh
some
eggs.
advice.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Like it's great. It's great. Farm living is great.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
rewarding.
That's awesome. And then your Instagram is amazing too.
Thank you.
All like the boards. You do a lot of boards.
I do a lot of boards. I do a lot of entertaining ideas in general.
Yeah.
Easy recipes. I want to make sure that women who don't cook or that don't, I always use like food as a way to bring people together. So I want to make sure that I share recipes or entertaining ideas for people to gather together and
Right.
spend
Yeah.
that time and have that experience
I love.
because it's so important
Yeah. And that's on your
for the ones we love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
creating the best memories.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's on your Instagram, Carla.Bushey.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. Check it.
Carla Bushey on Instagram and TikTok.
Oh, cool. Yeah. We'll have to check out the TikTok too.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure to link it.
Sweet.
Yes.
Thank you, Carla, so much for sharing
Thank you so
everything.
much for having me. I appreciate it.
And definitely check out the farm. So thank you all for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe.
See you soon.